So this is for my friends that have the baritone saxophone part. Make sure you have the baritone saxophone part if you are watching this video. So we're going to go through all the notes and rhythms of Midnight Sky up to measure 17. Excuse me. So we're going to talk about some musical things and some dynamics and phrasing and that kind of thing. So in the first 4 measures of the song, you guys have rest. You do not play at all. So make sure you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Obviously the tempo is a little bit slower than that, but I didn't need to count that slow. You guys know how to count to 4. Another way you can count is you can watch the conductor, because our tempo might fluctuate a little bit, might not be steady. So something to watch for is always when I downbeat. This is always going to be the beginning of a new measure. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 things you can you can count, and you can watch for those downbeats to make sure you know where to come in. You guys come in at measure 5. So you're going to start on the note C, B, A, G, and notice that there is a breath mark between measure 5 and measure 6. We do want to take that. The composer tells us to. So let's do 5 and 6. Ready? Go. Going on, we have C, B, A, D, D. And notice that there's a crescendo in measure 7 and a decrescendo in measure 8, which means we're going to get a little bit louder, not too much, and then a little bit quieter. And we do have that poco retardando, so we want to make sure we're watching for how slow that goes. So it's measure 7 and 8. Ready? And all right. And going on to measure 9, we start on a C. I gotta turn my page, don't mind me. We go to B then, so we have C for a whole note, then we have B, 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 A, G, D, D, C, B. That was a lot of notes. So if you need to pause and go back, feel free. But I'm starting measure 9 with a whole note, 4 beats. Count it out. Ready? And I'm going to stop there because that's as far as I went. Notice in measure 11 and 12, we have a crescendo. And something we never want to do is breathe after a crescendo. So we do not want to breathe between measure 12 and measure 13. We want to sustain all the way through that. So if you are like, oh no, I don't think I'll make it, take a breath in a non-obvious place. For example, in measure 11, you have 2 of the same half notes. Breathing in between those would be a really good place to kind of break it up, but not being taking a breath at a bar line. We don't really want to do that because it's kind of an obvious place and a lot of people might expect it, so they're listening for it. We can sneak it in if we put it in the middle of the measure. Let's go back to measure 9. Let's put that breath mark in between those 2 A's in measure 11. Ready? That was good. If you need it, take it there. If you don't need it, and you can make it all the way through, great. Just great. We're gonna do 3 more measures. This is like the most amount of notes we've seen, so let's look at those. 14, measure 14. A, D, G, B. Let's do just that measure. A, D, G, B. Ready? Go. One more time. Ready? Go. And then we go up to E, D, C. I'm dropping my saxophone. Sorry. E, D, C, D, B, C, A, D. And that was measure 16 at the end there. Let's do 15 and 16. Ready? And notice in measure 15, we have a slur, which means that little arc that's connecting the two eighth notes. So we have ta, ta, ta. We don't use our tongue on that C. Let's do 15 and 16 again. Ready, go. All right, let's go back to measure 9. Go 9 to 17. Ready, go. So I took a breath in a different place, but I didn't take a breath at a bar line, so that's good, and I didn't take a breath after a crescendo. So if you can find other places, so maybe you can make it all the way up to measure 14, but measure 14, you're like, I'm dying. Again, as long as it's not at a bar line, you are probably good. In this song, it's all about sustain, 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 sustain. All right, so we're gonna start at the beginning, and I'm actually gonna make you count out 4 measures of rest, because even though it sounds easy, sometimes it's very confusing. Okay, so here we go, beginning. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. You ready? Here we go. 5. So please practice beginning up to 17. If you have any questions, like something I said didn't make sense, or like maybe you couldn't see what fingering I was using, remember, it's just the first 6 notes of our concert B flat scale. So if looking at the note and reading it is a little bit tricky, you can rewind and I can go through the notes with you as many times as you want because it's a video. So you can hear those notes again and again. Watch in your music, so look at your music and like hear me say the note, see what the note looks like, and pretty soon you'll be able to recognize it all on your own. If you have any questions, ask me tomorrow in class. You do not need your instrument. We're not playing in class, but tomorrow's a really good day to ask if you have a question, because on Thursday, your lesson is going to go on to the end of the song. So, see you later. Bye.